Hello everyone, we're live, we're streaming. I'm back from the summer break. I want to welcome you to this stream. Stream number 3 actually about the Prusa i3 Mark III build. I'm pretty excited to continue building this printer because last time we stopped somewhere in the middle of the extruder assembly, and now hopefully today we're gonna make a great step forward to the end. I'm sure we're not going to finish this build by today, but we're going to finish some important steps like the extruder build should be done, and then also hopefully mounted to the carriage. Maybe some further steps, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Just want to see who is coming, who wants to see this, who is joining today. Let me know where you're coming from. I see there's currently 9 people watching, so let's have a little bit of a chat first, and then let's go into the build, continue doing this. I see that Layden is there, welcome. Daniel is there, Mustafa is there, Jay Christensen is there. Thank you for coming. I hope you're also excited. Revilo is here from the UK, New Zealand. Welcome. So yeah, I'm pretty excited that we are coming together. I think the last time that we have been here on this channel, it was 4 weeks ago, because like 4 weeks ago we had the last stream on, I think it was on Monday, 4 weeks back, and then we went for the summer break, also having some vacation, school break, and all that stuff, and now we're coming back. It's still hot in Germany. It's not as hot anymore, so it's cooling down in the evenings, which is good now, since we can now open the windows and it's actually cooling down and it's not just crazy hot anymore, but it's still like, I think today was still 30 degrees Celsius or something. Ah, Oliver. I see, Oliver. Review is my name backwards. Yeah, and France is also pretty hot, I guess. Still, summer is still going. I mean, we expect that summer is still going to be hot until even in September this year. So let's see how it goes. Let's have a brief look. In the meanwhile, since people are still coming in, but I don't want to wait too long to start because we still have a quite long way to go. I just want to let you know where we are in the build process, just a brief catch up what we have been doing so far. So we have been assembling all of these things here. The y-axis, essentially we assembled the frame, and then the y-axis, the x-axis, the z-axis. And now we are in the middle of the extruder assembly. So somewhere here around step 17, that's where we stopped last time. We still have to go until step, oh my goodness, 72 steps. So like step 72 is when we are going to finish this. And this is also the most, if you look at the beginning of this, the most difficult part of the whole build. So it's very difficult in terms of, I guess it's very difficult because there is so many steps involved and there is so many small things to do. Like each entire step is not very much complicated, I would say. But yeah, there is some things that are really, have to be done very carefully and with like very precisely, I would say, and that's why it's probably the most difficult thing to do. And then after this, and I'm not sure how much we get done today, but then there's the LCD assembly. It seems to be pretty easy. Heat bed and PSU moderately easy, and then electronics, and then also final testing. I'm not sure. Let's see how far we go today. I'm not rushing. I'm probably gonna have another stream next week about this, and then hopefully getting to test this printer So we hopefully can really do some first printing in the next week or the week after. Let's see. I'm totally curious how this is going to go for today. I have fairly much prepared the stuff that is left over to do. So next step here is assembling the hot end with the IR sensor. I guess we need some parts for that from the electronics box. So let's see what this is. There we are. This is the sensor cable. And in this step it says we need to locate the end with a smaller connector, which is easy because there's two different cable ends. One is the smaller one here, and there's a thicker end with actually 4 pins or even 5 pins, but not like there's just 3 pins or 3 pins are used from this cable, so not too complicated to find the right one. And we're placing this in the X carriage. So on the back side of the X carriage, there's a little cable slot where this goes. And use the small printed overhangs to keep the cable inside. So far, they say there needs to be some distance here between the connector and the X carriage. Should be around 15 millimeters. We will adjust it. Like it also says that we're going to adjust this later, so I think it's not an issue if it's not precisely 15. And the cable goes through this part and then comes out on the other side, going to the pinner probe in the end. Question is which? I think it could be. The sensor for the filament. Actually, it's not the pinner probe. It's the sensor cable for the filament detector. So, what about you guys? What's happening? Long summer. In the UK, it's not that hot actually. Seems so. And in New Zealand, it's not quite spring here. I think, yeah, I see you're on the other side of the globe, so you're just coming coming into the spring. It's interesting. Your motherboard is dead. Okay, that's unfortunate. What happened? What printer are you talking about? Okay. Trying to tune my Ender 3 since I got weird banding since days. I don't know what's going on. Oh my goodness. You're still using an ANET A8. Oh my god. Probably time for an upgrade. New printer, maybe. Maybe you should get another printer. The ANET, I think ANET times are mostly over now. So there is a few more steps to do now. And the crucial part is cable management. Seems so that they are very serious about this. I guess since this is, like, there could be things going wrong with this. Let me see where we are here. Yeah, we need to like pretty much make sure that the cables are aligned properly, that there is enough spacing, obviously. Start by making a small loop just below the extruder motor. Leave a slack of 2-3 centimeters. This comes handy for easier disassembly in the future. I can imagine, because then we can probably just pull the cable out easier. Guide the channel, cable into the channel, all the way to the back. Slightly bend the cable down to form it around the edge. Yeah. Seems that this is not too complicated to do. cable is coming over here, and we are coming around. Like this is the little loop that they're talking about, so we can like have a little bit easier of a disconnect and disassembly later, if needed. So now we are assembling the carriage, which is this step. And this is essentially bringing together the two pieces from the last time, from the last step. Just having both pieces connected. And my cable is already falling out of this channel, so it's not staying in. For some reason, it's not staying in this part. Whether it should be staying in here. Just need to make sure that it's not falling out all the time. So, Daniel did finish all his printer projects, so he needs a problem to solve with the printer. Yeah, that's sometimes a bit of a problem that we have these nice devices and then we don't know what to do with them. I hear you. I hear you. So how do we do this? I see, we need to connect these two parts now. This is actually quite challenging to figure out because it seems to be that is it reversed for me? No, it's not. I just have to turn it correctly, then I will figure it out now. Okay. What's the direction? This is the right orientation. I'm gonna put these two things together. Okay, they seem to fit. And then now we need to guide the cable through here. Oh, it's a bit tricky actually. So nothing gets in the way. I'm not sure how this is supposed to be so that nothing gets in the way of the screws here. Here we go. Good. I think I got it. Tricky part is that the cables stay on these little slots here, which are just, I mean, they are wide enough, but also tricky that you don't lock the cable with the next part that's going to come over here. Probably it's going to push down on the cables a bit. So what does the instructions say? Create a problem, Daniel. Yeah, that's right. You need to find something in your household maybe that's going to be worth looking into and making a 3D printed part for that. Awesome. Let's see. We're grabbing the X carriage, place it into the back of the extruder assembly as shown as in the picture. Make sure the rotor cable follows the channels. Yes, I did put the cables in here. I put both pieces together. For me, that looks correct. Pretty much like this. So I am pushing the cables in these channels and it looks good for me. There is a little screw here, that's right. Ensure no wire is pinched. Then use the M3x10 screw and Allen key with ball end to connect both parts together. Yes, yes, I see. We are connecting these two parts now. So there's two screws in here, which are a little bit hard to reach. So we can come in from the side and try to fix them. There is unfortunately no hole here, so I cannot put my screwdriver in here, but I can try to put it in from the side a bit like this. And now it's going to pull the parts together. seems to be working so far. Sometimes I had a few troubles with alignment of the nuts, and the point was when these little nuts and that we have placed in here, when they are not perfectly centered or like vertical to the part, and yet you're trying to get the screw in, you can ruin the thread. I guess this happened to me in another part here, where I kind of I created a problem, or that created a problem by a disalignment of the threads, and then I think it's now the threads are now broken, kind of. Probably will have some trouble getting the screws out. If I ever have to do this, there's going to be some forces involved to get the screws back out. So I have to figure that out later. If I ever have to disassemble this, for now it's good. So these two pieces are now firmly connected together. Cables seem to be running in the right direction. Okay, what's going on your end? Is anyone doing any printer assembly right now? Layden is, oh yeah, he's going into Clipper, I see. Yeah, I'm not yet there. I'm looking into Clipper. I will probably also do some testing with it. It seems that Clipper is getting pretty popular right now. Even Creality is going for a Clipper upgrade for their printers. They just announced some kind of external box where they install Clipper on the printer, and then they have a touch screen and Clipper running, probably is a Raspberry Pi or something, where they have a menu system for the printer that's connecting to Clipper, something like the Mainsail OS. Similar to Mainsail maybe, but this is probably not Mainsail. I'm not sure what they use. Oh my goodness. John is building a printer for high temperatures. John, what are you using? What kind of hot end setup are you going for? I'm interested. Since you are like probably talking about 300 degrees Celsius or something, or even higher. What's the point there? What are you doing? He's going to go for a V6 clone. But what is high temp? Like, what does high temperature mean for you? Is this like PETG is probably something around 250? But if I was talking about high temperature, I would say like anything above 250. There we go. We have the chat window is finally working. I was just trying out to get the chat here in the stream. Probably have to adjust it a bit. So I wanted to have a little bit of a chat window here that we can use to show the chat. Let me see if this works. Yay, that seems to be working. That seems to be working. There's still a little bit of a gap here, and I'm not sure where we should place it. So I'm still figuring out a few things with OBS, how it works, how to use certain plugins, and how to use certain features like is this little chat window here. Let me see. So far this seems to be working, but it's like kind of overlaying now with my face. So let's put it maybe over here. Good. At least for the main window, we can have the stream here, the chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to put the chat a bit smaller. It's like the question is, can you still read it? It's just for like having a little bit more of an interactive window. Someone was asking if they can use tipping. I guess you can tip on the stream by using, if you want to tip, I'm really thankful. You can use Super Chat, which is a feature that YouTube just enabled for my channel. So if you want to thank me, if you want to thank me, you can use Super Chat. I think no one ever used Super Chat on this channel. Anyways, I'm always thankful, but you don't have to. Don't feel obligated to donate anything to this channel. We're doing this just for fun. Everything that goes here, like everything that I make in terms of money coming in from YouTube or any advertising money, is going back into the channel, because that's what is supposed to happen with anything that comes in here. Because I need to buy stuff. I need to run this channel, and I'm very thankful for everyone who's supporting. And if you're just watching YouTube's advertising, that's also pretty great, because then you're also supporting the channel. You're also supporting me doing this here. So let's see. I have just done this. So I have fixed these two parts together, and it looks like this. Like it's pretty much done now. I didn't pinch any wires. I connected these parts, and then I did the second screw. Oh, don't tighten the screw. We need just the IR sensor cable. But like honestly, even though I did tighten the screw, the cable is still able to move. So I'm not sure if this had anything to do with how much the screw is actually tightened. So I would say it is still, like I can still move the cable. Nothing to worry here. Good job. Grab one extra gummy bear. Okay, the gummy bear is coming in pretty handy. The only thing with the bears are that since we streamed the last time 4 weeks back, I think they got a little bit hard. They dried up. So they're not as fresh anymore, unfortunately. So thank you, Layden. Oh my goodness, thank you. We have some super chats going on. Chat window is not working anymore for some reason. I don't quite get why the chat is... Sometimes this window is working, this overlay here, and sometimes it's not working. I have to figure this out. But we're getting better every single time. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think the chat messages are disappearing very fast. So we should probably have like a longer retention time. Or even like always show the messages maybe, don't have them disappear. Okay, let's try this one more time. So probably just hit some words into the chat so we can see whether the chat messages are now staying or if they disappear. I just want to see this. Just put in something into the chat for me. Thank you, John, for donating $2. Thank you, Wayne, for the $10. Awesome. Okay, test. Great. It's working. Daniel has put in some random keys. I see. For some reason, what you see now, Daniel has entered, this is strange. I don't get how this works. Daniel has entered some keys, random stuff, and then I got this moderator message. And I approved the message, and that's still not appearing in this in this window here. That's only the messages that have been going through straight. And now everyone is green. Why is every message green now? I don't get it. Not every chat message should be green, I guess. Why? Always show messages. Is this thing on? Yes, we're on. I'm not sure why everyone is now showing up in green. I'm going to save this one more time. So maybe let's reset the chat again. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to restart this browser window here. Okay, we're just going to go. We're not going to. Hey, I think John is now blue. Yeah, let's see how it's going. Yeah, exactly, John. We are just at the beginning. I'm just getting into streaming. Actually, I made so many videos, but everything was just offline content and it wasn't very interactive. And now I'm getting the feeling that for me, it's easier to talk to you right now, right here in this live stream, instead of always putting just the time into the videos, making the videos, but it's not very interactive with you. So here we have some chat and we can get some interaction. Chat being confusing, that part of the fun. Now everyone's blue. The only thing that changed was theme clean. This is very strange. Why is every chat now blue? Always show messages. Let's switch back to what we had before. Okay, let's not waste any more time. I'm going back to looking at this assembly. So next part, IR sensor parts preparation. I need this little sensor here. Where is the sensor? In which box do we find it? It will be probably in some of the, in one of these little boxes here. Good question, which one? This is the LCD package. Electronics box, LCD. Let's see if it's in this electronics package. But this seems to be the main board only. We have another one here. There is a very small plastic bag which seems to contain this filament sensor. Let's get this opened. So this is the IR sensor, a very small infrared filament sensor. And we are now preparing this for the next step. Probably need some more screws. We need an M2 8 screw. This is probably the only one here in this package, just that small. And an M3 by 4T screw. Just measuring this out. So we have everything that we need here. Sensor with this little very tiny screw and the long one. Yeah, do not touch the PCB and the chips on it. Hold the PCB from sides. Yes, I see. I get it. So we next step, what we are doing here is assembling this to the side of the extruder body, and we'll figure out which side that is. Here we go. Yeah, essentially the sensor is facing down, so the infrared sensor is pointing inside of the case. We can zoom in a bit so you have a better view on this. Here we go. So this is the sensor. It's coming into this little opening of the extruder case. Just putting it in here. And then there is a little screw that will hold it in place. Just need to pick the right screwdriver for this. This is too big. Oh, still not fitting. This one. This one is working. So this is cool, John. Thank you for that. Which stepper is better, 1.8 or 0.9 degree? Oh, this is a very good question, but I have no answer to this question, honestly. Maybe the chat has an answer to that. I prefer, Layden is preferring to watch streaming than rather doing videos. Your videos are still good, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, thanks for that. Like it's very, like from my point of view, doing streaming is very selfish. Like I'm like honestly, it is for me. It's much easier to do the streams, and it is also more fun. I think there is a benefit from, like there's definitely the benefit from doing this. Just trying to get the stream window aligned for different views here. So yeah, it's for me it's easier because like I can come here, I have everything set up, just turning on the cameras, turning on the lights, then I can start. So it is really easier, and it's just content that I just have to prepare the actual thing that I'm doing. I don't have to write a script or like do extensive editing on this. Like we could reuse the material from the stream. Excuse me. So we could reuse the material from the stream and make another video if it makes sense. Mostly probably it doesn't make sense if there's this chat going on and then we do some assembly stuff and then there's chat going on and stuff back and forth. I think it doesn't really make too much sense to make a video from this content, but for me it's actually easier. So things, well, what is the chat saying here? I'm glad I'm not the only one that struggles with all this crap. Yeah, absolutely agree. Things aren't like it's too easy for most of us. Yeah, I think that's obvious. I'm trying to get the connection correct here. So I did this step. Now I need to connect this cable, which is hopefully going to work, not going to be too hard. Yes or no? That is a good question. Can I insert or put the plug over this connector? Yes. This seems to be working. It's connected now. Next step here. Yes, this is how it looks right now. So the cable is, for me, is a bit more shorter. Tighten the screw, connect the cable. Just leave a slack behind the sensor like in the picture. Don't create too big loop as it might interfere with the frame. If needed, adjust the length by gently pulling or pushing the cable. There isn't, for me, there isn't any slack at the moment. I can only try to push it a bit, but I think there isn't a lot of slack. So let me pull the cable just a tiny bit more, not too much. Yeah, there's now a little bit of a loop here. I don't want to have it too long actually, so it is not causing any problems later. Yeah, so this is the rest of the cable from this connector. That's just a tiny bit hanging out, but I think that's good. So yeah, we did this. We did like mount the sensor, connect the cable, and make sure that it is going to be tight enough. Okay, ready. Oh, check once more. No cable is pinched, and tighten both M3x10 screws. That works. Strangely, even though these screws are tightened pretty much, the cables are still able to move. So I guess this is okay. So they're not pinched anywhere. So that's a good sign. Here we go. IR sensor assembly. Finish the sensor assembly by inserting the long M340 screw. Make sure all the gaps are gone. Where is it inserted? It's going in right here. I think we're missing chat in this window. Let's put chat in this view also. Where is it? Here is this. Here we are. Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I see this is pretty hard to read, but you still, I mean, everyone can still use the YouTube chat. I'm just putting this over as an overlay here just for fun, so we can see this. Good. We have one long screw to go, which is going in right here. That is supposed to hold everything even stronger together. Let me see if this works. Good evening. Oh, Mustafa, you had a question. What do you think about the bear upgrade? If you're referring back to that, well, I think that it will make the frame even stronger. It's supposed to be. I didn't never do this kind of upgrade to my printer. I think the only comparable thing that I did was the AM8 metal frame. That is a full extrusion frame upgrade. For me, that works pretty well. Like, I took the ANET A8 electronics. Basically, it's a new printer, right? It's not an ANET A8 anymore. There's also a new mainboard. If you do this through Prusa, it's probably going to make this printer a bit more rigid, but I was actually surprised how good this metal frame is. Right? This whole frame here is completely made of metal sheets, so it's not wood or plastic. It is already pretty rigid. So the bare upgrade will probably do some improvement to the printer, but honestly, if you look around and if you figure that all of the print farm owners use stock configured i3 printers, most of them. At least in the chat group that I'm in with the print farmers, everyone's using i3 stock with stock firmware. They didn't even modify the firmware. They just take stock configuration, stock firmware. The only thing that they are sometimes doing is that they are going for a like exchangeable hot end system where the wham bam, where they can just swap out the hot end if something is clogged, so they can continue printing faster. But like that is everything that they are maybe sometimes doing, but even that is sometimes not happening. So they mostly go with stock configuration. For good reasons, because that makes it easier to maintain stuff and like figure out what's going wrong, because every printer is equal, every printer is the same. Daniel is asking, what knife is that? The knife that I'm using here in the studio is from Bergquist. Got it a few years back. Pretty much a universal, it's not a pocket knife exactly, it's more like I would say camping knife or outdoor knife. I really like the design because it's like it has real wooden pieces here, and then this is a nice combination of wood and metal. It's like easy to use, just right for the studio, just to open like card boxes, cutting stuff open. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Works pretty nice. We started the build like today. We started, I think, around 9 o'clock German time. We actually started the build. The real first video was, let me think about it, like 5 weeks ago, I guess. Yeah, 5 weeks ago. We had the first live stream starting to build this printer. I'm gonna get gummy beer right now. Gummy bear. So we started this like 5 weeks back, then we did another stream 4 weeks back, then we had the summer break. Now we're doing the third one. Yeah. I'm off to work. Have fun building, yeah. You can rewatch the video later. But thanks anyone for super chatting, super chat. We had few people donating today. Thank you for that. So yeah, thanks for coming. I'm still experimenting with the stream setup, honestly. I reached like just this week, I brought a second computer to the studio because I figured that for the current video that I'm doing, I'm running photogrammetry software on my main computer. So on this PC where we're streaming from right now. And the computer is struggling so much when the software is running and when it's doing its rendering that you cannot record the screen anymore, believe it or not. And it's a super powerful computer, right? But it's taking all the resources from the system and nothing else is working. So you cannot record the screen, which I want to do for the video. It's completely, like OBS is basically just freezing when the photogrammetry software is running. It's taking up 100% of CPU and 100% of the GPU, and everything stops. So to record the process and like showing some results and turning the objects when it's rendered, That is also taking 100% GPU because of the millions of vertices it creates. But this is a completely different topic. We're not talking about the... I'm just deviating from what's happening today. But that's the reason why I had to bring a second computer to the studio, just to have a second computer for recording the screen of the first computer, which is a bit crazy. But that's how some things sometimes are. Like you have to fix these kind of problems if you want to make some content. So having a second computer was like I had to solve that problem. Like I had to have a second computer now. Yeah, stuff like that. It's crazy. Mad Scientist took his ANET AA to SKR and went to MGN. Did you also swap to a real metal frame? Yeah, probably. Esther Hugener is asking, is that a green vase behind you? Looks nice. Which one? This one. This is a green vase. This is from, I think it's Geeky Faye is the creator, and she created this. This is essentially just it's not a real vase because it's not watertight, but it's a real challenge for every printer to print this, because these arms are all independently printed from the bottom up. So if the printer is in any way misaligned or jumping, doing layer shifts like here, this was another test. If there's any layer shifting happening, this is gonna fail. So it's really a challenge for the printer. So spiral vase from Geeky Faye, just try it out if your printer makes it. Anyways, where are we? Want to make some progress. I did this. I fixed this screw. Gaps are gone. I can confirm this. Now we are doing hot and fan parts preparation, step 23. There's two versions. Which one I have is, which one, A or B? I have the one in the black sleeve, obviously. Okay. Each fan uses different fasteners. Oh, really? Okay. You will be informed in the relevant steps. That's good. Fans were tested and optimized to have the same cooling performance. Hot and fan parts preparation version A. So we need, for this, hot end fan and 3 identical screws M3 by 14, which I have just found in my pile of screws. The bare frame is more rigid and reduces ringing. It can also run higher print speeds. Interesting, yeah. That's great. I mean, this is like, yeah, it's understandable because it's like this frame is pretty rigid, but it's still like if you want to push it, you can do it a tiny bit. So probably if there's a vibration frequency is in the right spot, then it's gonna start, maybe it's gonna start vibrating, but so not too bad. So we have the fan, we have 3 M314 screws. Make sure you are using the correct ones. Yes. Keep the cable in a bundle for now. And now, for easier fan installation, remove temporarily the black twist tie from the cable and release it by 1 loop. Okay, let's do this. So, it is a bit longer now. push the, before you move to the next step, take an Allen key and gently push the motor cable to the channel to create space for the fan cable. Okay, let me see what that means. I understand. So here, this is the piece. That's what they are talking about. This cable here needs to be in the channel. So the fan is going to come here it's gonna like come over here. It's gonna be placed right here. So this cable has to be out of the way. So we need to push the cable from into this channel. So it's not going to block the fan. Looks good so far. The fence has two sides. One has a sticker. Okay, sticker side is looking into the extruder. First, create a loop on the cable. Make sure the black protective wrap is close to the edge of the fan. See the picture. Okay. Here we go. I get it. So that's how it's going to look like. Here we go. Needs to go into the channel. And then coming out here on the side. Not sure if this is correct already. But we can now push it a bit. So, sitting there. Pretty firmly. So I'd say we are right at, like, in the right spot now. The cable is, just laying here as it is in the diagram. And then we probably have to insert these 3 screws right now. That's how it looks for me. It's good. Final check. Fan is oriented with the cable facing up. The cable goes through the upper channel. Yes, it does. It's not pinched. It looks very good. So we are now inserting the 3 mounting screws for the fan and fixing those. So that's how it's going to be. 1 here, 1 in the corner. And 1 in this corner. So I'm wondering whether there's going to be another one here, because we are leaving this for now. There's no screw coming in this hole for now. Probably later. Good. What's going on your end? Do you have any Clipper setup guide videos? No, not yet. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, Clipper is, for me, Clipper, I'm very much at the beginning. I'm interested to look into it. I'm currently honestly focusing on getting my print farm like in a shape where every printer is running the same hardware and firmware. Today that is going to be like 3 Ender printers, with the same hot end setup, and like essentially hardware is almost equal, except the fact that this is 3 different printers, like an Ender 3 V1, an Ender 3 V2, and an Ender 3 Pro. I think I showed this in another video already. But like from the hot end perspective, every printer has the HeroMe 5, and I'm like going to upgrade one of the printers to a HeroMe 6 in a very near future, so I can see like how that goes. And then I'm gonna like put everything on HeroMe 6. Then we have like 3 printers in the same setup, and then I'm going to add the Prusa to the farm and also the Bamboo Lab. Gonna take some place in the farm, so I will see which ones I'm going to use for what use cases, but I'm still aiming in the end for like consolidating as much as possible on at maybe 2 different printers, like models, so to say. The fan, is it 12 or 24? I think it's too late for figuring that out. I have no idea. Honestly, I didn't see it. I didn't look at the label of the printer, and now it's fixed. So what are the other like fans? This one is a cooling fan for the, like it's 5 volt. Okay, 5 volt cooling fan. Strange. I hope your Prusa won't have issue 602 or VFAs, and I have no idea what that is, Layden. Maybe you can tell everyone what you mean by that. The Bamboo Lab, is it still working? Well, I didn't turn it on for the last 3 weeks because we were on summer break, but I will be continuing my test series. Bamboo Lab has sent me a new multicolor unit in the meanwhile. I think I mentioned it last time, because they had some initial, like the initial one that they sent cannot be upgraded anymore. The firmware is not upgradable on the initial version that they sent me. It's still pretty much working. Like the unit is still working, so that's good, because now they sent me a second multicolor unit, and I am waiting for the multicolor splitter. Like there is a multicolor splitter unit where you can connect 4 AMS units to, so you can have 16 colors connected to the printer, or you can have 16 different colors to choose from. So I will try that out as soon as this unit becomes available in the online shop. Because I want to test the like at least 8 color printing. So far, the printer seems to be working. So I also still have to do some high temperature testing, right? So they sent me some carbon fiber filament. I also have a bunch of other filaments that I want to test. The thing that I realized last week was that my bigger spools, especially the master spool from Das Filament, which are increased in diameter, so that the reason for that is the filament is not as easy jumping from the spool as with the original master spool, where there is just a tiny bit of spacing between the actual filament and the corner, like the edge of the spool. There is just probably a centimeter normally, and the filament is more likely to jump from the spool, and then that's why Das Filament created a bigger version of the master spool, and this one doesn't fit into the multicolor unit. And I was like, damn it, doesn't fit in. And the original master spool also doesn't work, so at least the V4, because it's not turning for some reason. Like it's very lightweight, so it's like very thin and it doesn't turn. It doesn't, like it's not there. It has to create some friction to tell the unit that it's actually there. That doesn't work. So the master spool is a little bit of a problem with the like it's so far. Didn't have much luck. Good. What next with the Prusa build? We were here, step 27. Okay, this is this. We have to skip this because it's the other fan that we don't have. No, no, no. Now we're jumping over some steps, so we're making some progress here. Extruder idler parts preparation, both fan versions, which is this little piece here. Extruder idler. So we need a few parts for that. We need the idler. The plastic part, we need the counterpart. Just need to find this. Yeah, I think I have it here. Bondtech set. Yeah, this is probably it. Bondtech set. Bondtech without the hole for the screw, the set screw, without the hole. Yes, yes, yes. I see, I see. There's a few pieces. A very tiny grub screw, which I have no idea what this is for. But this goes back into. I will put this back because I have no idea where this is supposed to be going. Maybe this is just a replacement grub screw. Very tiny, easy to get lost. And there is these little parts here, which we will also need. And this is the what is the Bondtech gear without the grub screws. Bearings and a shaft and an M3 nut. And an M3 by 40 screw. Idler spring, what's the idler spring? Here we go. Place a spring on the screw. We have, what is the long screw? Like the 40, length of 40 millimeters. Here we go. Good. So all the pieces are here. What next? Bearing assembly. Insert both bearings in the pulley. Be aware that the bearings can slip out during assembly. Okay. What does it mean? Be aware that they can slip out. I hope not. Okay. So, insert both bearings. So essentially I'm just like taking this little part here and I'm just dropping in the bearing just here at the top, and they're coming out to the bottom, so they're not really like they're not staying in there. So they're not staying in there. So I have to carefully take this part. Then we have extruder idler assembly, which is the next step. So we have to push or pull this. One more time, we have to pull this M3 nut into the part. Probably the screw pulling technique from Prusa. Just taking another screw, putting it from the back side, and then like pulling it in using the Allen key or a good screwdriver. Actually, I prefer having real screwdrivers for the instead of using Allen keys. So I stopped using Allen keys because the Allen keys are really super annoying to use. Sometimes really hard to use. Then you like this is just so much better to use. You have like something to grip on. Like it's really Very, very good. Or a big hammer, yeah. True. The usual comment. Oh wait, this is becoming kind of a running gag. Use a big sledgehammer on everything. Okay. So, the nut is in. And now we're inserting this. Insert the pulley idler in as shown in the picture. Here we go. Here we go. So it shouldn't be too complicated to do this. Pushing in this little rod from the side, or the shaft. Use reasonable force or you will break the printed part. Reasonable force to do this. I'm not going to use a hammer. Oh my goodness. Can I use non-reasonable force? No. So I think this worked. At least it worked to push this in. Place your finger on the bearing and ensure it can rotate freely. So I'm just trying to push the shaft in a bit more. So it is aligning here with this part. Just to, is it? Okay, I guess we got it in enough. So this is turning freely. This looks great. Sounds good for me. Good. Esther Huguenet is asking, why is the Prusa so expensive? Well, that is, it's a good question. Like, why is it so expensive? Maybe some people in the chat have an answer. I guess there's probably a few reasons for that. My guess is, it is, of course, you're paying for the brand. You're paying for the company, saying, okay, we have a company in Europe, not in China. Nothing against China, but the thing is that we have a company in Europe that is supporting this, that is building this. Everything is done here in terms of the research and like also printing the parts. Like energy is also more expensive here in Europe than maybe in other countries. Labor is more expensive in Europe. The parts are high quality, and it's like if you compare this with an Ender printer, there's so much more detail in this, and there's so many more high quality parts in this printer that the sum of all of the parts is higher than for other printers. There's Prusa support, like they are really supporting this. Like I have a customer, honestly, I don't want to rant again about any company here, but the thing is, I have a customer who is paying me to print stuff for them. They thought that they would do something good for themselves by buying a very expensive printer from a Chinese printer manufacturer. Guess which company? Very expensive. So 1,000 euros printer. And they had issues with the printer and they didn't get any serious support. Like there is no support in Europe available for this. And so they struggled and they completely, like this printer is just sitting in the corner because it's not usable. It's a $1,000 printer. I would have to put in, I told them, I had this printer in my workspace, I tried to fix it and I said, to fix this printer, to make this just a reasonable, usable printer, I would have to put in at least 500 euros more for a new mainboard, another display, another hot end, and stuff like that, just to make this printer somewhat reasonable. So why even bother buying that? So, and then I got the Bamboo Lab and I was like, okay, this is serious. This is serious. this is a serious attempt to get into the market and make the only question for me left again in terms of Bamboo Lab is what's the support model going to be? They are on the way of clarifying that. I have asked them multiple times today. I say we're not yet ready to tell you, but we're on the way doing this. I think they have a plan for that as far as I understand to support it from Europe. But let's see how this goes and when the first problems come. There's also now on the online shop. I basically pre-ordered another Bamboo Lab for myself because I wanted to see what does the real production unit look like versus the unit they sent me a few months back. So is this the same printer or is it something seriously different? Good. Not gonna name any companies here. That we're not gonna complain too much because everyone can figure it out. So Prusa support is supposedly good. I never had to use it though, not yet. I paid for this printer, by the way. It's not sent to me by Prusa for free. So let's go. Filament alignment check. Last time we did this already. Let's use this opportunity to check once more the proper alignment of the filament and the Bondtech gear. Push the filament, which we don't have here right now. I need some filament. Let's have some filament. Push from the top through the Bondtech into the PTFE tube, check the alignment, and if needed, adjust the position, tighten the screw, but be careful, you can easily strip it. Remove the filament. Okay, let's just do this one more time. So, filament is coming in from where? I'll just have to look at this from the right point of view. Here we go. So, filament is coming in here. Is it? Probably have to cut it a little bit angled. Okay, let's try this one more time. So where is the filament coming in? Supposed to come in here. Why is it not working? Did we create an issue by assembling this stuff? I hope not. Not currently, I can't push filament through. Why is this? Maybe we use the Allen key first. What the hell is going on here? So, for some reason, I can't push in the filament anymore. So maybe did I tighten some screw too much or stuff like that? I'm not sure. This little opening here is where the filament comes in. So it's supposed to be working, supposed to be easy enough to push in the filament. So we push in the smaller Allen key just to check what is happening. Not sure. Maybe the filament sensor is blocking for some reason. Now let's take it out a bit. Let's take it out and see if this is the reason. Might be for some reason blocking. So let's double check. Oh yeah, it's not going in because this little sensor was blocking and I have no idea why. You can't see this right now, it's too small, but maybe you see it here. Yeah, you can probably see it. There's a tiny lever coming out once I push the filament in. You see this? And this is supposed to go in between the IR sensor. So maybe it is, now it's working. Probably I had just a tiny misalignment of the sensor. Let's try it one more time. Not gonna tighten it up too hard for now. Let's see. Can we still push it? Well, it's still working now. So maybe not tightening that too much. Okay, so it seems to be, for some reason it was blocking. Now it's working. It's working again. It's like moving. So let's try the filament one more time. Filament goes in, easy enough. And it's also like the alignment of the Bondtech is, from my perspective, perfectly aligned with the filament path. Like it's perfectly there, just right in the middle. So filament will be able to move smoothly, I guess. Okay, looks good for me. Put in filament, then tighten the sensor. Yes, good point. But I think it's really going in very easy now. But a good tip. Good tip. Thank you for that. So next step here, we're tightening the screw, but be careful. We don't have to. I already did that in the previous step, so it is already perfectly in the middle. The idler mounting. Place the idler. So this is what was the piece from the last step, and then use the screw, the M3 by 40 screw to fix it in place. So we're gonna have to put it in right here. Where does it go? Here. So that's where it's supposed to be. And then we have this M340 with the spring coming in here from this side, and then it's going to hold it in place. So let's do this. So I'm wondering, how is this supposed to be working? Like, was it not using the? It's not the one with the. It's actually not the screw with the spring. Why was it not? Like, where was this going? I think I know it's coming in from the other side. This is coming from the back side. This is coming from the back side. This is the other one, second one. So this is coming in from this side here, from the bottom, just to tighten this whole thing up. But there is just a one without the spring coming in here. Good. Oh my goodness, this is a long one. Come on. Okay, here we go. So it is like we're not supposed to tighten it up too much. It's still supposed to work here, move freely. That's good. Looks good to me. Okay. Don't tighten the screw too firmly. It serves as a shaft. We're not yet putting in the final screw for that. Then we have the sensor cover parts, which is a cover piece. And another M3 by 10. Layton, yes. Yeah, we did this. We have too many screws, Daniel says. I guess it's a lot of screws. You're totally right. But it's also quite a complicated. It's quite a complicated thing to build, right? So it's like if you buy a printer that has already everything assembled, and you don't have to do that. But let's say you're disassembling something like even if it's just a simple one like the Ender. There's lots of screws involved also, right? It's not that these printers have like so much less in terms of screws. Okay, this is just a cover. This is just a plastic cover for the sensor and the filament. There's a little hole here for the filament, so it can go still go through here. Just we have to align this also and try again that the filament goes through without any problems. So good. Let's try inserting filament once more. Okay. Works quite easy, I would say. Didn't see the start of the extruder build. Is it dual gear? Yes, it is dual gear. You can see it here when we open this up. This is the counter gear, and the other one is here with the motor. So this is this is gear number 1, and this is the second one. So they are working together and pushing the filament through, right? And this is like push down. And then they connect, this gear connects to the other one, and they turn, so filament gets transported through. You can still see it here. There's another hole here. If you can't reach that, try to align it using an Allen key or pulling it up using a longer screw from the spare bag, pre-tensioning the extruder idler. So that was the other one that was missing, the other screw. We have to insert this from the opposite side. So gets inserted here on the other side of the dual extruder, and then it's grabbing this M3 nut here, and then we can start tightening that a bit. We only have to make sure that we are grabbing this M3. Currently not really grabbing it. Here we go. So what do they mean with pre-tightening? How much do we actually do this? Okay, the head of the screw should be roughly aligned with the surface. This can be adjusted later. So yeah, we're trying to align this with the flat surface here. So that's gonna push it a bit more in, put it a bit more in. I think this is good enough. And now this is like pulling on the gears, like pulling them together, so they have a reasonable amount of force against the filament, so it's transporting, and then it's going through the extruder here, which is a V6 style extruder into the hot end. Next piece. Pre-tensioning. Print fan support parts preparation. So we have a print fan support piece. We have another M310. We have an M3 nut. And again, using the Prusa way to insert the nut and then bring it in place. It all the way. Like, how do we do this? Same way as we always do this. We use another screw and then pull it in. More screws is more metal is stronger, Rob says. Yes, I agree to some extent. It's also heavier, right? So it's like all the way in now. So I used the M3 screw to pull this into, to pull the nut in here. So it seems to be very much inside, like very deep inside of this part. So it's a very good method. So now we can unscrew, and it's going to stay in this cavity. Like here, it's very deep in. Good. Secure the support using an M3x10 screw. So we did just this, and then we're fixing it to the extruder. That is a bit difficult actually, because you can't reach the screw too well with the screwdriver. Well, it works. It's working. But it needs to be like aligned, so there is, like, it's straight. Looks good for me so far. It's like also, like, it is a bit pushing. No, it's not. Like, it looks like it's pushing against the cable, but it's actually angled, so it's not pushing against the cable, which is good. So this is supposed to hold the fan for the printed parts, and it's like you can still move it. I'm not sure how hard I should tighten this. So probably not supposed to move. But anyways, it can be fixed later if it's not tight enough. Facing down, that's correct. The fan shroud parts preparation. There are two types of hot end fans. For this step, they differ in the screws length. So which one do we have? We have, how can we see this? Version A, the fan cable bundle is covered in a black sleeve. Parts are shown in the first picture. Yes, this is ours. We have version A. Yes, we have version A. Okay, so we need a fan shroud. We have this. We have an M3S, which is a square nut. And then we have an M3x20 screw. Which is also here. And then we're pushing in this M3NS into the fan shroud. So means that we have to push this all the way in. Easiest done with maybe this plier, or we need to push harder. You can also use the screwdriver. In the end, it needs to be aligned with this is this hole here. It needs to be there, just pushed in all the way. Not easy here. Need another smaller screwdriver, but it's now coming in. And that looks good because it's now, we can now push an Allen key through. We can also use another like M3 just to test it out. That looks good. So, where does it get mounted? And that's what I like so much about the about the assembly guide. It is very detailed. Every single little screw is shown where it goes. Every single step is explained very well. That's what I like so much about this Prusa guide. So, like, it is really easy enough to follow this. So we have to now push this part in. See the protrusion on the fan shroud and the groove in the extruder. So there is some visible areas where you can just push this part in. Yeah, so it fits in here. So there's these like gaps here, and this part fits in from the top. Cannot really misalign that. Just pushing that in, and then now it's fitting, sitting in this, in the spot where it's supposed to be. And that's the last, like that was the screw number 4 that was missing, that we didn't yet insert. This is the last one. That is holding the fan shroud in place. Okay, so fan shroud is in place, pointing towards the nozzle. You can see this, like pretty much close to the nozzle. Cables aren't interfering from my point of view. It's okay, it's looking good. Good. So last thing here in terms of fans, we have the print fan, the fan part, or part fan. We need this fan. There's also an electronics box. We have another M3x20 screw like 2 times, and another normal nut. If you have used them accidentally somewhere as help for the spare back. Yeah, it's good that there's a few spare screws coming in the box. So that's how it gets mounted. Tutum Carmen, thank you. Thank you for bringing up this topic. We have a Discord server. If anyone here is not yet joining the Discord, we have a Discord server, which is essentially a chat server. If you don't know what that is, Discord is a chat service, and you can create communities for people who want to talk about their specific topics. And we have this chat server set up for the Crosslink channel. And I'm just going to paste the link here in the chat room, which you can use to join our Discord. So let me just get it for you. So here we are. Let me get the link. If not anyone else did this already, no one did this already. So just have to figure out how to paste it. Here we go. Invite people. invite link expires. No, we don't want to have expired link. Generate link copy. Here we go. So this is the Discord server link. You can use this link to join us. We have some moderators there. Tutankhamen is one of the moderators in chat in the Discord server. So we can, like, what I mostly enjoy there is that we have so many people who know so many things. So you can always like come there and just have a chat with someone who has a similar printer, maybe similar problems. The good thing there is also that like there is like now we have a bunch of people that are like happy to exchange their knowledge, and that's why we have this. Like I want to encourage you to go there, and like even if you don't have an issue, but you can maybe you can provide some help to other people who have similar devices like you. Just to get the community talking to each other makes also my life easier because there's nothing better than you finding someone who is like in the same situation or has the same printer, and I don't have all these different setups. Like I have a few setups. If I know something about a specific setup, I can help, but most people have different things going, and then the best thing is if you try to find someone who is in a similar situation and then fix the problem, wants to exchange that information. And there's the moderators who are also pretty experienced and very helpful. So thanks for the moderators again that they do this for free. It's so awesome. I really love this community, and that's why I also say like I love doing the live streams much more now than creating the videos. I will do some videos in the future, of course, but for some reason I just fell into this mode of doing the live streams, and it's much more fun. Hello, WJS. Where are you coming from? New joiner. Anyways, I think not everyone. Since we have a few people now, how many people are actually currently in the stream? We have, I think it's not too many now. It's 8 people or 11 or something. So maybe you can say again where you're coming from, welcoming the others in the stream. So we have a better picture of who is coming from which country, just for fun. So I'm continuing with this step here. Mounting the extruder fan, hot end parts cooling fan with another M320 screw. Just wondering why I need 2 of those. I see. There is like one from the back side and one from the top. So let's do this. So one going in from here. And the other one is supposedly going here. I think there's a nut missing. There's a nut missing here. We no need to pull it. We will use the screw. Are we? Okay. If that is working, I'd be wondering. I was just about to, not really working, because that screw is just too short to pull the nut in, I guess. It's just too short. Bit too short. So I would rather go and unscrew this whole thing one more time. It's not a huge waste of time, and then just go and first take this M3 nut and pull it into this plastic part. Otherwise, I guess is not. Yeah, I can't reach it from the with the fan screw. It's just too short. So let's pull this in first. just so much better. Good. Now, finally, fixing the parts cooling fan. One screw. And second one. Good. And it's still turning with no issues. Looks good. First time for Mexico. Max and WS Brewer is from South Africa. Almost Benji time? I'm not so sure. I think we are. I would say we're still a few hours from really printing. But this whole this thing here, this complete setup. There's so many screws. It has really a lot of parts, and it's also like just from a weight perspective. I mean, it's an all metal extruder. The motor is pretty huge. I was just thinking about why not replace? We could replace this with a smaller motor, I guess. I'm not sure. We have the V6 hot end. It is a pretty heavy thing. Like, it is pretty heavy. Like, probably worth weighing it, taking a scale and like just comparing it to other hot ends. But it's pretty heavy. I need to go to exercise. Yeah. Good one. Good one. Okay, so the cable management is also the part of the instructions. So where do the cables go? They are routed here around. I mean, so far there is no huge cable management happening, honestly. Guide the cable according to the picture, bend it slightly towards the extruder, don't stretch it. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's still no real point to fix the cable, so it's just going around here, but nothing more. Good. Super Pinder. How many steps are left? Still a few steps left. Oh my goodness. Super Pinder sensor parts preparation. We need the Super Pinder sensor. Let's grab it from the electronic box. It's the Pinder probe here. Here we go. A pretty small one actually. But so far on the Prusa Mini, I'm pretty happy with the Pinder probe result. So it's really very precise. Good. This is going to be mounted. Here, there's a specific place where the Super Pinder goes. So here is a holder for the Pinder probe. Just right here. It goes in here, and that's going to be fixed with one screw. So what we can do is now just insert it from the top. I'm not sure if we have to screw it in. And now we can just push it and just release this one a bit. So we have a little more space to push it through. Okay, adjust, it doesn't really matter, they say. The position for now is not so important. I'm just gonna fix it a bit. Then we create a little loop here where the cable is supposed to go just to the other side. Come on. Actually, not as easy as I was thinking. Here we go. So we are creating a little loop here for the cable, and then the cable goes, like it's pushing, basically it's pushing in the fan motor cable. Just creating this little loop. And then we have it all in this little channel here. So looking great so far. Okay. This is an interesting step. Extruder preparation and mounting. So we need 2 zip ties. Where do we find those? That's a good question. Where do we find the zip ties that are supposed to hold this stuff in place? Oh, there's a whole bag of them. So I think we should not run out of zip ties in this build. So let's get it open. So we need 2 zip ties. We are going to fix. We are going to fix this. It's supposed to be fixed to the rail now. I wasn't actually aware that the extruder is fixed using zip ties. Not sure why this is the case. It's an interesting way to do this, right? But it's also quite unusual, I would say. Never saw this. Lower the x-axis at about 1/3 from the top. Turn the printer like in the picture with x-axis motor and shorter extrusions facing towards you. Okay. So first of all, we have to insert those zip ties into the extruder. Just like that. So they go in from the bottom, and then they are supposed to go in a loop coming out from their top. Okay, that looks good. Daniel, going to disappear now. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the stream. Anyone who is staying, I think we're still going to do this for another 10-15 minutes, and then I will also leave you for the time being. We're going to continue next week building this printer. Tomorrow morning I will probably do some live stream on the gaming channel, just doing some testing of my rig here. I will change around the monitor stuff and a bit. I will replace some monitor arms here. So I'm still not done with the setup. As I told you, I have now 2 computers here for streaming and also for recording because of some technical issues with recording on one computer and at the same time running a highly CPU and GPU intensive program. That was a challenge. So I'm still working on a video currently for hopefully finishing this by Friday. I'm still aiming for finishing this video. And the idea of the video is that we're going to have photogrammetry, that I'm using photogrammetry to scan a building. And when running the software on this computer where we're currently streaming from, it took 100% CPU and GPU, and I couldn't record anything on that computer. I couldn't record the screen. So I had to bring the second computer, and that was like a perfect segue of setting up the gaming setup finally, where I'm also using one computer for running a game and a second computer to record the game or stream the game. So, link to the gaming channel. Yeah, this is just for fun, by the way, right? The gaming channel it's not so serious, I would say. I don't take this too serious. I have some we have some people also in the community of the Discord server who are streaming just as a hobby, just from time to time, and that's why I said, hey, this looks fun. let's also. I just want to like try out game streaming and recording some games, and I just started by recording some of my gameplays of PS5 stuff, trying out streaming, and then using that also as a method to test out the streaming rig. And then, like, I was always super into gaming, honestly. I'm not a super great entertainer, by the way. I just want to have fun here, right? I just want to have like stream some games, just some very casual stuff. I did actually a PS5 unboxing video on that channel, which has the most views ever on that channel. But anyways, like if you wanna join me playing some games, yeah, just head over and see. So I'm not very competitive in terms of games that I play. I'm more into adventure games. I will be playing the new Monkey Island very soon. As soon as it gets released, I will also probably do some older games that, like, I was thinking about at least doing a 1 hour video about the older Monkey Island series, just for a revival session, and then when the new game comes out, and we're gonna play the new game, because I'm really looking forward to play the new Monkey Island. Not everyone is so much into it because they changed the graphics. Last of Us is definitely on my list. I just played through Uncharted 4 Remastered. I had some fun. It's a challenging game because there's so much shooting going on. And it's a great story, but also a lot of shooting. A bit too much shooting for my, like, if you look from the perspective of an adventure game. But I also like Lara Croft a lot, so there's also a lot of fighting in these newer Lara Croft versions. But anyways, like, if you have ideas for games that I should play on the channel, then let me know. I'm still undecided which one I'm going to play next. I'm probably gonna like just have a look into the older Monkey Islands for now, just to go through a few of the memories of these games, just to look at the graphics one more time, and then I think in about 22 days the game gets released. Let's have some fun there, and it's also good to test out the rig here, try to do the new setup, like get things, like try out new streaming ideas, and then bring the things that work over to this channel to really use them in the builds or something like this, for example. Yeah, I still have to fix some issues. Like the chat is still blue for everyone. Like, there should be different colors for different people in the chat, and it's not working. For some reason, it's not working. Hopefully next time we're gonna get it working. So see you over there. Where we are now is, I think I want to do this now. So I inserted these zip ties. I'm going to. I already have the printer pretty much in that position. It's just a bit too high up, just a tiny bit too high. So the carriage needs to come down a bit. Just push it a bit. Okay, so it's now in the middle. We can line these bearings now. So they are like in the picture. The middle ones are, like the upper ones are pushed against one another, and the lower one is in the middle. And then we have the step number 3, which is like bringing the hot end on this. Not sure if I can make this visible to you currently, because I swapped the camera, like I moved the camera up. But I guess you can see it from the top. So I'm taking the whole setup here, the whole hot end setup, and I'm going to fix it to the rails. as shown in the picture. Probably have to open up these cable ties. So there's a bit more space here. So how does it work? Probably have to like align all the cables so the cables are coming in the right place. So these are supposed to be, like in the picture, it looks like they are not going over. Like, I think it's not so important. Probably just pushing it onto rail is the most important to get it in position first, and then we can fix the cable alignment later. Most probably. Not sure though completely about this. Okay. So it's not very, you can't see this very well at the moment, but I am just bringing this whole setup over the rail system. And I also have previously marked my the bearings, so they are like they have a specific position where they should be in terms of how they should be turned, so they run as smoothly as possible. So aligning this. Okay, this looks good. And it's sitting right there, it's working. The only thing left to do is just tighten up the thing against the rails using the zip ties. So it's now over, it's sliding, and as in the instructions, I'm going to close these zip ties now. And I have aligned these markings that I put on the bearings previously, so it's running smoothly now. Good. Tighten and cut the zip ties. So let's just do that. So first of all, I have to actually insert them so I can pull them tight. Number one. This feels a bit old school in terms of how this is fixed. I mean, there is probably a more elegant way to do this than using zip ties, honestly. Or maybe this is just temporarily. I have no idea because I didn't look further in the manual. My feeling is that it's probably just, it looks like a temporary solution. I don't know. So, but it looks like the whole thing is now moving nicely. So we can cut these, the rest. Come on. Okay, so done so far. And that is step number 49 done. Now we're doing some cable management, and I would say, since like we are pretty far into the evening, and not many people are still left watching, I think it's still just 5 people left, I would say let's call it a day. It was nice having you all on the channel for doing the build and doing some more chatting. I will come back next Monday, same time, probably a bit earlier next time, because today I was super busy, had so many things to do. I actually wanted to start an hour earlier, but I couldn't. Actually, we started even later today. So next time we're gonna start a bit earlier. Hopefully, I'm gonna make it a bit earlier so we can we have 1 hour more time to do all of this and continue doing the build. From the manual's perspective, I think we are through the most complicated stuff now. We are just like, we have some belt management to do, getting the belts mounted. That's not too complicated. We have some electronic case build doing, and then also the display. That's super easy. So I would say from a timing perspective, this was like taking up most of the time now. This is like a very time-consuming part. This whole extruder build, the mounting of the extruder is very, very much the most time-consuming thing. So looking forward to next week. And yeah, trying out game streaming tomorrow, bringing all these computer setups in a better shape in the morning. And then I will see you next week or on the gaming channel. Let's see. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See you next time.